Hey, how's it going? This is Melinda and welcome to my channel. So today I want to talk about Record Store Day. It's coming up Saturday. I am extremely excited. I want to talk to you about the releases that I think are really cool and also talk about a few that I think really stink or really dumb. And of course, you're going to disagree with me, and that is totally cool. I look forward to the discussion. Before I start talking about the list, I do want to show a couple of records. This one I think is going to be a little bit of a sweet surprise if you pick it up. It is from the Elemental Music label. They sent it to me as a promotional copy. It is sensational. The Temptations, All Directions. Wonderfully titled because it literally goes in all directions. It was not at all what I was expecting. It was so much more. For one, this record sounds absolutely amazing. Side one is killer. It is so funky. And I didn't expect that. I expected that nice light Motown sound that I love. But side one, wow, it is absolutely fascinating. It sounds great. Like, let's look at the guys here on the back, okay? Side one, it's not him or any of these guys. Side one is this guy right here. This guy. He represents side one. Funky awesomeness. And we get songs like Funky Music Show Nuff Turns Me On. I mean, how can you go wrong with a title like that? Then we get into Run Charlie Run, and I will say about that song, if you have a 3-year-old, do not let them memorize the lyrics and sing them in Kroger. You're being warned, okay? And then we get into great stuff like Papa Was a Rolling Stone, killer. Side one is absolute funk. It sounds great, and it is great. And then we get into side two. That's where Motown, that beautiful Motown sound takes over. We get really beautiful songs. Love Woke Me Up in the Morning. I Ain't Got Nothing. First Time I Ever Saw Your Face is absolutely beautiful on here. And of course, we all know the Roberta Flack version. I can remember when my daughter was a baby, there was a commercial of a mother and her baby, and that song being played in the commercial, and I just would lose it. It's so beautifully sung on here. Now, this one does end on a funky note, Do Your Thing. Again, this is fabulous, and I did get a promotional copy, but I would not lie to you guys. I just want to make this clear. I do get promotional copies from here and there of different records. I will never lie to you. If I don't like a record, I will not ever pretend I do. And this is a really great one. It came in paper, but poly-lined sleeve, and it's got that fantastic Motown label. So thank you so much to Elemental Music. This is one that you may sleep on if you don't look out for it. But if you see the Temptations, All Directions, when you are out on Record Store Day and you still have money burning in your pocket, you will not be disappointed. The sound quality is great. I do not know if it's all analog or not. I don't know if the Motown are releasing their master tapes, but I can promise you it does sound very good. It's very funky on side one, very much a Motown album on side two, and absolutely beautiful. So I highly recommend at least checking that one out, getting to know the music to decide if you like it. And I've already made a video about Bill Evans' Treasures. So if you want to know more about this release, check out my channel. I made a very thorough version of a video about this release. And a lot of people, if you've been wondering, the sound quality sounds great. And it says on the hype sticker, it is transferred from the original tape reels and mastered by Bernie Grundman. So the audio transferred from the original tape reels. And wow, is this not a fantastic release. I absolutely love this one. It's 3 LPs. LP 1 and 3 are really beautiful traditional jazz records. LP 2 is, side 1, Bill Evans and just the piano sounding amazing. And then side 2 is this gorgeous orchestral music. You get it all with this one, and I absolutely love it. So I highly recommend that one. If you are into jazz and you love Bill Evans, I have picked up a lot of the Record Store Day Bill Evans records, and wow, I have been amazed every single time. So let's go ahead now and talk about the releases that I'm extremely excited about. And I'll be honest with you, I've got some notes here. I want to try to get my information correct, and I didn't memorize it, so I'm going to be reading some notes here and there. First off, what is everybody coming to Record Store Day for? Well, I'll tell you, a lot of people are coming for Taylor Swift. She's putting out the Long Pond Studio Sessions. There's going to be 75,000 copies. So that sounds like a lot, but I don't know. I wouldn't be someone who, if I really wanted that record, I'm not sure I'd swing into the store at 5 o'clock that afternoon after Record Store Day's been going on all day long and think I'm going to find a copy of that record. Think I'd be getting in line for that. I'm not getting in line for that. I'm not interested in that one. I like Taylor Swift, but I'm not a Swiftie. And I will get into that a little bit more later in this video. First off, Record Store Day first, limited to 3,000 copies, is Chet Baker's Blue Room. This is the 1979 Vera Studio Sessions. And I love Chet Baker. I love his singing. I love his trumpet playing. I think he's fantastic. That's one I really, really want to have. And I'm going to put it on my list. I really think that's going to be a fantastic release. Love Chet Baker. Love him. I'm looking forward to Chet Baker Blue Room. I love the album cover of that one. I think it's cool. Again, 2 LPs. It is a Record Store Day first, so I could potentially wait and buy it later. But no, I want it now. So I'm hoping to be able to get that record. And also, another really good one I think is going to sell like hotcakes, and it probably is going to be worth a lot of money on the secondary market, is Eric Carr's Rockology. This is Eric Carr. He was the second drummer in the band Kiss. After Peter Criss left the band, Eric Carr took over. He put on that fox makeup, and he was in the band. Whether he got kicked out or whether he was in the band until he died is controversial. But unfortunately, he developed heart cancer, died in 1991, the same day Freddie Mercury died. And I really don't think he ever got his proper due. He was a fantastic drummer. He performs on a lot of the big hits when it comes to Kiss of the 80s. A really great guy. And Rockology is his solo album, and they did it right. They put it on beautiful 2 LP. It's going to be on orange, black, and clear splatter vinyl. Absolutely gorgeous. And I love the cover. They did it to make it look like one of the solo albums. If you're familiar with the Kiss solo albums of Paul Stanley, Ace Frehley, Gene Simmons, Peter Criss, it matches those with his fox costume makeup, and it's just looks like a fantastic release. So I'm sincerely thinking about that one. My only concern is how often will I actually listen to it? I don't know. I just think it's really, really cool. And there's a CD that's limited to like 500 copies. So this is a Record Store Day exclusive, limited to 4,000 copies. The Kiss Army is going to be out. It's going to be maddening. And that one will sell out. And then it's going to be expensive on the secondary market. I can already predict that. Next up, I am really looking forward to an exclusive limited to 3,000 copies. I really want this one. Duran Duran's Carnival Rio. I love Duran Duran, and Rio is my favorite album by them. And I've just been really getting into it lately. I love this album. And when there is a song I really, really love, like from the 80s, for example, and they make a long mix of it, I'm all in. I love those. So this is going to be what they call the night remixes or night mixes of some of the songs from Duran Duran's Rio, like Rio, My Own Way, Hungry Like the Wolf. There's going to be some amazing stuff on Carnival Rio, and I think it's going to be a great one, at least for me. I don't know if that's for everybody. I think it's also going to be on a Pretty Red vinyl, but man, I'm all in on that one. I think it's going to be a fantastic release. I also am looking forward to one that, and I'm debating. I'm still debating on this one, and y'all are going to laugh at me, and this is where I'm going to lose my credibility, potentially. But I'm going to stand my ground and admit that I think the Eddie Money, the Covers record, or it's an EP, is pretty cool. I've given it a listen. Some songs are better than others. I was a little nervous. This is going to be a record store day first, so I will have another chance to buy it, I hope. At least, hopefully, it will be available on vinyl again. But it's going to be limited to 1,500 copies for record store day. Now we get into songs like Drops of Jupiter, Eddie Money singing Drops of Jupiter, and some Beatles tunes. I think it's going to be really cool, and here's why. I'm a diehard Eddie Money fan. When I hear his voice, I am instantly back in the summer in 1970s. I love Eddie Money, and I think he was a really good person, and I really like him. And to this day, on his Facebook page, if you make a comment, there is a chance his wife will comment back to you. They're very interactive on his Facebook page. And I think that says a lot about him, how much his wife loved him, the family. I'm a big Eddie Money fan, so that one is a little interesting. Ticket to Ride, I think, is a very cool version of Ticket to Ride, and he does a good job. Like I said, I'm in love with his voice. His voice is the sound of the summer of the 70s for me. So laugh all you want. Eddie Money, the Covers, I'm considering that one. Now, next up, Stevie Nicks, the Belladonna Live 1981 record. I think that one's going to be very cool. 2 LPs, 10,000 copies. And normally I would think, oh, there's going to be plenty of them. 10,000 copies, that's a lot. But I think this record store day is going to be huge. Gone are the filler pieces. They've really honed it down. They've also lowered the copies, so there's less copies of records. I think it's going to be huge, and this one might sell out really, really fast. I don't know. A couple of years ago, I'd say 10,000 copies is a lot. This year, all bets are off because there's so many things going on that I will get to at the end of this video. So what I really love about this release, it came out, it's a live concert from her in 1981, and she is performing a lot of her Fleetwood Mac records like Rihanna, Dreams, but then we get into Belladonna, Stop Dragging My Heart Around, and what is it? Oh, Edge of 17. I love that song. It's one of my favorites from the 80s. So I think that's going to be a really cool release. I love the idea that she's putting together Fleetwood Mac hits along with the Belladonna album. After the Glitter Fades is another cool song. The question is, the sound quality. Live albums are iffy when it comes to record store day, and I've experienced that firsthand, but we'll see. I'm thinking about it. I'm curious to know what the sound quality is going to be on that one. Next up, record store day first, limited to 3,000 copies, the Strawberry Alarm Clock, Incense and Peppermints. Now, I know a lot of you already own that record. There's a lot of originals floating around. I just haven't found a clean copy of it that I wanted, and I've always wanted to have that record. So that one is definitely on the list. We'll see what happens. Very, very interested in that one. And I believe Elemental Music put that one out. So I think that's going to be another cool release by them. Next up, a very cool release. This is the 50th anniversary of Nuggets, original artifacts from the first psychedelic era. It's going to be 5 LPs, so we're basically talking about a box set here. The first 2 LP set that was put out. There's also going to be some footage, I shouldn't say footage. There's also going to be some songs that didn't make the original record. So we're getting some extras in here. And I love psychedelic music. I don't have a lot in my collection. So I would love to have this one. It's going to be pricey, so that's probably why I won't end up having it. It's going to be a Record Store Day exclusive, so you got to get it for Record Store Day or you're going to miss out. There's 6,000 of them, so I don't know if that helps my chances. I think there's a lot of people after this Nuggets box set. So I think it's going to be a very cool release. I think it could sell out all bets are off. Again, this record store day, I don't know what to expect. There's so many weird and crazy factors going on this time around. So also, the next one, and probably the biggie for me that I am hoping to get. And it's Van Halen. It is a record store day exclusive. So I have to get it on record store day or hello secondary market. And I'm not a fan of the secondary market. So record store day, Van Halen's live right here, right now. And I'm already holding up a copy, so you're thinking, why do I need the record store day release? This is unofficial. This one was released. I've had it for a couple of years now. It's on blue vinyl. And okay, so if I don't end up getting the record store day release, I do at least have it, but I want the official release. I kind of regret buying this one now. I did not know at the time that they were going to start reissuing things. It felt like everything was on a standstill and that Sammy Hagar releases weren't coming. I felt like the band was in a feud and I just didn't know if anything was coming out. So when this came out unofficial, and it sounds good, I went ahead and bought it. But the record store day release is going to be really cool. There's going to be some exclusives. There's going to be Mine All Mine is going to be a bonus track, and This Dream Is Over is another really cool one, Eagles Fly. So I think it's going to be a fabulous release, and those are the ones that I think are going to be hot, or at least they're hot for me. Obviously, we're all going to disagree. I really want to hear from you what you think, but I also want to talk about what I think stinks about Record Store Day this year. For one, I think, and y'all are going to be so mad at me for saying this, and I'm only halfway serious, but there's going to be the Grateful Dead box set. How many box sets do you need of the Grateful Dead? Seriously. And I shouldn't say that, because if Van Halen was putting out a box set at every record store day, I would be in line dropping my money. So no offense to you who buy all the Grateful Dead box sets. It's just like, okay, I mean, how much more can they find? What else can there be? And I'm sure there's a lot. And Grateful Dead fans eat these up. They're a huge money maker, so why not keep putting them out? It's working for them. I just think, wow, that's so insane. Another thing that really gets me this year, every year I look forward to the releases by The Doors, and I buy them up. This year, no, I'm not buying these. These are 3-inch singles by The Doors. Really ridiculous. And you can buy a 3-inch turntable that plays the 3-inch records of The Doors. So you can get the Doors turntable and the 3-inch records. To me, that's ridiculous. That represents everything that's wrong with Record Store Day. And of course, you probably totally disagree. And I get that. And that's fine. You can leave your comments below and tell me how crazy I am. But I think that's insane. I am so disappointed that this year I will walk past The Doors and not give them another thought. They're not going to be anything I'm interested in at all. And that's a shame, because I love The Doors and I love the Record Store Day releases. Another one, picture discs. Now they have really honed in and gotten rid of a lot of the clutter. I feel sorry for record stores, because a lot of times after Record Store Day, I see these records that when they were announced, I knew they weren't going to sell. And yet they got them in the stores and they sit there and they sit there. And there's sometimes I'll go to record stores and there will still be Record Store Day records from a few years ago that just never sell. And they just sit there collecting dust. They're losing money when that happens. So I'm glad that they kind of cut that out this year. But we still get picture discs. Do you collect picture discs? Who are you? Who is buying that 99 Luft Balloons picture disc by Nina? Who's buying that? Now, I have a few picture discs, so you can make fun of me on that. These are old ones. They're more collector's items. I've never put them on my turntable. I never will. But I also understand that the picture discs of today are very different, and they do sound better. I will give you that. But still, Why make a picture disc when you can put it on a beautiful splatter vinyl, a color vinyl, even black vinyl for that matter? I just don't know why we're still doing picture discs when there's so many other beautiful choices. And finally, the one comment I'm going to make as an old lady that doesn't like crowds, why do we have to have this huge Taylor Swift release? And that's just me as a customer. I know record stores are saying, Melinda, sit down, shut up. Because this is going to bring tons of people into their store for Record Store Day. That's exactly what I don't want as a customer. I don't want more competition. I don't want bigger lines. I don't want more hoopla. I just want to be able to get the records that I want. I don't want to have to deal with the crowds. So for nothing against Taylor Swift, again, I have a lot of her records. I think she's a great artist. I'm not a Swiftie, but I respect her art. I really do. But man, anytime she gets involved nowadays, wow. I think that her presence and this release is going to bring out so many more people, which, overall, that's a very good thing. And I'm having a little fun here. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to go to Record Store Day. I have a big day ahead of me. I have a friend who's going, and I'm hoping he will pick up some of these releases. No pressure, Mike. So I am hoping, though, here's my hope. Once I get what I have to do on Saturday done, I'm hoping to run to the record stores. I'm hoping some of these releases will still be left. I'm hoping for some leftovers. I might be able to get a few of them. I don't know. It's going to be such a fun day, though, and I'm very excited for everybody involved, whether you're the Taylor Swift fan who's getting out just to get her record, or whether you're like me and you kind of like Eddie Money and you're thinking about that release. There is something for everyone. The Cranberries, the Grateful Dead, everybody. There's something to look forward to. And if you get the chance, you guys, again, the Temptations. If you have money to burn and you want something funky with a Motown flair on side 2, this is a great release. I'm really, really happy to now have that one. Thank you so much to everyone who watched. Let me know, what are you in for? Because I know I'm an older lady and you all probably have some younger bands, fresher music that you would want to say. Let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to picking up. Let me know where I'm wrong. I can take it. I am a big girl. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.